Well, hello everybody. This is Bug-Eater64 welcoming you to my stream. It's time to have some fun, so let's go. I'm going to do a little thing today where we're going to introduce you to the EV-55, the latest version of it. I think you'll enjoy the airplane. There she is. That's the beta version of the EV-55 Outback by Evector. And she's a real sweet little airplane. There's been some nice changes to it, and we're going to look at some of those. Some of the things is we've got these spots here we can actually close the doors, which before we couldn't. And let's take a little look here. If I can remember what I'm doing. We now have the nose cargo area for more storage. And what we're looking at right now is the default livery. And I'm going to show you a couple other liveries. We won't be flying this particular livery. And with that said, let's go ahead and take a look. One thing you want to remember, and there's warnings actually on the inside of the door. If the engines are running, you don't want to open these doors and step out. That would be a bad thing. And because you'd end up with a mouthful of propeller. Would make for a very bad day. So, let's go in here to X-Plane's main menu, flight configuration, and let's take a look at a couple of the other liveries. There's the default one. This is an alternate paint with standard white spinners. Alternate paint with the chrome spinners. Camouflage for those that like to fly in the bush and keep hidden. Default with chrome spinners, and that's basically what we're looking at here. And the Raven. Now the Raven is the airplane that we are actually going to fly today. So I'm going to apply the changes. And there you have it. Very nicely done. I don't know, I'd almost call it a phoenix, the way this is done. And let's take a look at the pilot view here. Pull up our checklist. And we close the nose compartments. And our pilot door. Now I could the doors I could open or close manually. So that done, and let's go ahead and there's the front of our Raven. Top forward. I like the way they put the wing feathers, so it looks cool. Again, very nicely detailed with the feathers, the flames from coming from behind to the head of the Raven. So let's go back inside, and we've got our co-pilot view. You can see the detail that was done with this. You can even see the screws and rivets for the spinners. We have our Garmin 530, fully functional. Excuse me there. Look at our cabin. And the one thing you can do with this, let's go back to pilot view and I'll show you a change you can make. If you're flying strictly with cargo, simply check that there. Let's go back to our cabin view. And you can see all the cargo. Oh boy. Need more coffee, I think. Take a little better look at that. A lot of work done on the straps and so on. You can see the buckles. Very nicely done. Alrighty. Let's go ahead. Alright, so let's get a little power to this airplane. And let's see where we're going. KSFO, flight pan going to Half Moon Bay, so we're good. And we will be taking off today from runway 28. I've already checked the ATIS, and we are right here. So we'll have to come down this way and take off from there. So with that, let's turn on a beacon, let people know we're doing something here. Check our controls. Okay. Looking good. And let's see, here we go, rudder, all right. Ailerons. Okay, we're looking good. Okay, very good. Let's see about calling for a pushback. I use something I was turned on to by another simmer, Chili Willis, who's quite a lot of fun to watch. And he flies a lot of the tube jets. Turned me on to this better pushback from the Oregon. I really like it. So what we have to do is plan our pushback. And let's see, clicking. Okay. Go down here. And that's about where we want to be. accept our
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Very good. So we're looking good. I think we're about ready. So let's go.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
And here comes our tow. Now you've got this big tow right in front of us here for the big tube jets and so on. That doesn't work well with our little airplane. This little tug up here is designed for smaller aircraft. And he'll work his way up here and get us hooked up. Here it comes.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Okay.
Winching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
There you go. Parking brake off. What it does is it actually lifts the nose up, slides underneath.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Very good. Let's just go ahead and take a quick look here. It lifts it up just enough that it can push the airplane back. I think it's pretty cool. And he'll put us right on that yellow line. Oh, and I thank Outer Exodus for giving us the host. That's incredibly nice of him. Thank you, sir. As we introduce the EV-55 to more peoples. Alright. So better pushback will put us here.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Very good. Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Like I said, normally I would have the engine starting up right now, but I like the looks of this. As he pulls away.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you, sir. And good day to you. And he actually pulls off and he'll stand there for the hand signals, which I thought was just outstanding. Alright, so with that done, let's go ahead and get our bird started. So, ignition on, right engine. Let's go ahead and a little RPM. Okay, normally that works just fine. Alright, let's go ahead and try this again. We have power on. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Alright, engine number 1 has started. Yeah, when I hit the during a pushback once, I hit the taxi light, and he actually stopped and said, "Hey, you're blinding me with your taxi lights. Turn them off." All right, so engine number 1 is looking good. This is going to be a real short flight, just an introductory. Put that on local time, 12:10 in California. Let's go ahead and put this on. Turn that on. Generator is on. Okay, that's looking good. Get this generator on. Alright, so we are looking good right now. Set for takeoff trim. Alright, that's looking good. Alright, let's go ahead and begin our taxi. What do we got here? Belts and no smoking's on, okay. Hand steering is on. Anti-skid brakes is on. So, looks like we are set. Nose wheel steering is on. Apply a little power. Take our little EV-55 Raven for a little flight around San Francisco. flight plan to end up at Half Moon Bay, but I may just come back here. And it's a little bit noisy out here. Yeah, let's take a look at my airport map, make sure I'm going in the right way. And we're doing pretty good right now with 30 frames a second. That's 30-32. That's not bad at all. In X-Plane 11 with my settings set where they're at. So, this could be an issue. I watched that 707 land probably 30 minutes ago, and it's still sitting out on the runway. Yeah, departures and arrivals are on 28 left and 28 right. So, where he is sitting, I'm going to choose the runway he is not on to make our takeoff. I think he's on 28 left. So that being the case, we'll take off on 28 right. So I don't have to worry about him. Yeah, let's see what happens. Whoa! Nicely done. Now I could probably take off from runway 28 left, even with the 707 sitting on there, because the EV-55 is basically a short landing and takeoff aircraft. With the reversers on it, it takes very little runway to stop it, which I'm going to test today, probably again. My last flight, I used up 3/4 of the runway. It was on a different version. It was version I think 9.1 in the beta. This is version 13 in the beta. We're very, very close to prime time for this, the 1.2 EV-55 to hit the streets. And the developer has done an absolutely wonderful job with this airplane. I have a lot of fun with it. It works well. Landing speed, because of the thin wings, is a little bit higher than maybe other turboprops, but we found pretty much a sweet spot for this, somewhere between 90 and 105, 110. You land it at that speed, you can pretty much keep it nice and smooth. A little slower than that, sometimes it has a tendency of, when you get close, the ground effect really doesn't take over, and it'll bounce pretty good. But it's got very robust landing gear, so I've never damaged it, even with some of my harder landings. Okay, so we're approaching 28 left. Don't see any airplanes coming. And that's probably because there's a 707 sitting on the damn runway. Excuse me. You can see it right down there. So we're going to go across the runway here over to 28 right, and we'll take off there. Might even try flying underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, which is no big deal. It's as tall as it is. I've done it in a helicopter. I guess I can do it in a twin-engine prop. Let's take a look here. Okay, very good. Let's set the flaps for takeoff configuration. We've already got our trim set. landing lights now. Turn off our taxi lights. And we will pull out onto the runway. And turn off our nose steering. Give her some gas. Almost foobarred there. Airspeed's alive. And 80 knots. And rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Yeah, 500 foot a minute climb is fine. Flaps coming up. And all is looking good. And we'll pull back on the RPMs a little bit. Take a look at our surroundings. Said this is a fun flight, so I'm not too worried about things. Just kind of want to show how this airplane will fly. And with my orthos, I'm still getting right now 24, 25 frames. So, not bad at all. We got everything in the green. And there be San Francisco. And atmospherics, clouds and such is stock X-plane 11, and the ground visuals are done with ortho for XP. So I just think it does a very, very nice job. Right now I'm flying it by hand, I'm not using the autopilot, and it handles very nicely. We can trim it up some. So welcome to San Francisco. We got the Bay Bridge. Very, very nice. Fly by the naval base there. Make a slight turn here and head for Alcatraz. And then for the Golden Gate. It's a ferry leaving. Looks like it's one of those leaving the Alcatraz. Alcatraz right there on our left. There's the Golden Gate. So oh no, I've forgotten about that lower bridge. Well, we'll just give it a little bit of a buzz here. Can we make it? Let's find out. Yeehaw! Nicely done. Haha. Of course, the FAA is going to have a fit, but that's all right. All right. So, with that being said, let's altitude, nav, autopilot is on. Okay, so let's go with that. That should take us to Half Moon Bay. Well, I almost foobarred there. Got down to just over 100 feet off the water. That could have been bad. So we're going to climb, get a little altitude, about 800, just over 800 feet. And then we got one of our offshore platforms, looks like. Okay, so right now everything's looking good. Yeah, the EV-55 flies real well up to about 190 knots. After that, it gets a little bit unruly. It has a tendency of, especially if you're using the autopilot, it starts to porpoise. So, but that's plenty of speed. You know, this is an airplane designed for, you know, basically be a puddle jumper. Short trips, taking people to and from, and it can be used just about any country in the world. And I'd like to welcome Pro Racer 460. Welcome to the stream. Yep, we're flying the EV-55 beta, version 13. This is just about ready for prime time. And if you like flight sims, this is a great little airplane. You can pick it up on the org, and the 1.2 version should be out in the not too distant future. And today we're flying the livery that is called the Raven. I'll give you a look here. pretty cool livery. I like it. So Half Moon Bay should be over there, so let's take a look at our navigation. Let's go ahead and activate. And there we go. And we're going to be heading to Half Moon Bay and see if I can land this thing. Like I said, Half Moon Bay's got a relatively short runway. It does have restrictions for the type of airplanes that can actually go in and out of it. But with the reversers and so on that are on this airplane, I shouldn't have any real problems. If there is a problem, it's going to be truly the pilot, not the airplane. This is just a really nice little aircraft. We'll take a look here at the cabin. Now this one's set up for passengers. Like I showed you at the beginning of the stream, it can actually be set up for cargo. These here, if you look down at the roof here, that's not a sprinkler system. Those are actually the air system. So you know how you get in an airplane and you can turn on the air to blow on your face and keep you cool? That's what that is. And yeah, looks kind of cool. It's neat. Got some cargo back here. So let's see here. Look at our Garmin. About 8 miles to the airport, and we'll take a look around once we get there. So yeah, Pro Racer, this is the old man's voice. Yeah, unlike Outer Exodus, who was kindly enough to host my stream for me, I don't get to stream very often, but I've been working with the developer of this airplane, and just to let everybody know, I don't get paid a dime. We've been doing some beta testing with this aircraft, giving suggestions to the developer, who has been very receptive and very helpful, and just made an extremely nice flying airplane that is really inexpensive on the at the org store. Unbelievable. He's and there may be some other things coming in the future. He talked about the possibility of making a float version. There goes the sailboat. So, yeah, just want to take this opportunity to show people what we've got here and what the developer John has done. This is his first ever effort in building an airplane. He's been working on it for about 4 years, and I think he's for a first effort especially. This is an outstanding job, just outstanding. And right now, flying in the aircraft, X-Plane 11, version 05 R2, and I'm getting right now 42 frames a second, which is pretty good for X-Plane 11. And I've got some pretty hefty settings on it. So it won't be long now. We've got about, I think, what, 4 miles, 4.5 miles? Yeah, 4 miles. So just about 2 minutes, we should start to see Half Moon Bay. And that's it, straight ahead. It's noisy outside. Some of the things I use is track IR. And then for my views, I've got set up X camera. Which works quite well. Yep. And that's straight ahead, right out here. That's Half Moon Bay Airfield. So, with that in mind, more than 10, variable altimeter is 3010, distance 1.5 miles. Alrighty. And we can look down and there be the runways. And it looks like, okay, we're going to land from the Bay Area, so we're in the right spot. That being done, autopilot coming off. I have the aircraft. Okay, we're going to fly out here. Trim it down just a bit. Alrighty. Turn this bird around. Landing gear coming down. First stage of flaps. Okay, a little bit low. And we're down. And let's go ahead and get the nose wheel steering on. And we'll just roll out here. Yep. And welcome to Half Moon Bay. Ground idle. That'll make taxiing a little easier. So, as you can see, keep landing speed between 90 and 105. She touches down real well. Although that one was, I like anything under 200 feet a minute, I'm happy with. And that one was, according to my mod, about 172. So a little bit more than I want, but first time flying into Half Moon Bay, I'm not going to complain. And thank you, Pro Racer, for permission. That's always a help. Take a look at the airport view here. And that'd be San Francisco. That's the wrong one. And there we go. Excuse me. That's where we are, and we're going to come right down here to this parking area. That's where the shop and the restaurant is. And so. I did. Thank you, Pro Racer. We're going to park right about here. Okay. And with that, we can go ahead and shut down the motors. So, James, don't know what to tell you. The type is EV-55. Offhand, I couldn't tell you which engines these turboprops are. This is an airplane that was actually designed for use in Europe. At the time that the developer here, John, started building this for the sim, the aircraft had not gotten its flight certificate. I believe it by now it has. Yeah, it's designed primarily for rough landing strips, short landing takeoffs, and takeoffs. So, you know. Oops, looks like we have a problem with the stream. Okay, looks like we're back. Don't know what happened there. Stream was working good on my end. It looks like you guys lost it there. So. Yep, stream does not look happy. It's all green on my side. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and if the stream has settled down, we will try and look at the landing from outside. So let's give it the old college try. That's okay, James. I do that kind of stuff all the time. But I'm old, so what can I tell you? Here we go. Noisy, noisy, noisy. And reversers. Not bad, not bad. I'll take it. So, as I said, welcome to Half Moon Bay. So, there you have it. There's our little airplane, the EV-55. You know, if you like twin turbo twin turbo prop, okay, now I can't talk, aircraft, and you want a very inexpensive airplane for your sim, X-Plane 11, or even X-Plane 10, I believe, you can't hardly go wrong with this. So, check it out at the org store, and you'll be having as much fun as I do. Let's go take a look inside again. And we'll just start. And these, you know, click here and they're out of the way. And that's all there is to it, putting her to bed. So let's open up the cargo, passenger door, nose compartments. Engines are stopped, so we can open all the doors. And one last look. Well, I know it says large aircraft only, but I'm large enough. Okay. And the cafe is open. Good. Get us a cup of coffee and be on our way. Anyway, thanks for everybody for coming. Thank you again to Outer Exodus for hosting. It's always a pleasure, and I'm very grateful. And thank you for coming and watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed the flight. And hope to see you next time. So, as I say, you know, as always, safe flying. Until next time. Later's all.